Good morning, children. And as we start to prepare for this morning's collective worship, I would like to start by saying, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. Hopefully is what you've all said. Okay, so today, children, we're thinking about change. Last week, you experienced some change when you went to visit your new classes. I know our year fours didn't get the chance to do that, but I know you have been going and visiting, and if you haven't done so yet, we'll be going to Hugh Sexy's. But we're thinking about a time for looking back, thinking about remembering, but also looking forwards so that we're thinking about the next stage in the journey of your lives. Sometimes when you don't really know what the next stage is going to be, it's because you're unsure of what it's going to be like when you change class or even school. It can help when we're feeling like this to hear about other people's journeys and how they coped with change. After all, every single one of us travels a journey through life, not really knowing what is coming next, but we do need to think about how we cope with those situations. So today, we're thinking about a saint who's called Mary Magdalene. She went on one journey in particular which completely changed her life. It was early in the morning and still dark. Mary lit her lamp. The brightness of the flame comforted her, even though it was only a small spot of light in the darkness. Mary was very sad, but she was determined to make one last journey for her friend Jesus. She had a jar filled with myrrh and aloes, special perfumes and spices. It smelt very precious. She was going to take it with her to his grave as a final gift for him. It was as if the jar was full of all the good memories of the time she had spent with Jesus. The very first day she'd met him, the times that she'd listened to all his teaching, and the time when he healed her. All those memories were in that special jar that she's holding. Mary took her jar and her lamp and set off for the tomb where Jesus had been buried. She thought that bringing her jar of precious perfume would be the last thing that she would be able to do for Jesus, the last journey that she would be making for him. But when she arrived at the tomb, the stone had been rolled away and Jesus's body had gone. She thought something terrible had happened and someone had taken his body away. Mary cried and cried until she heard a voice say, "Mary." It was Jesus. He was alive. He told her to go and tell the other disciples, and so she started out on a brand new journey. She brought her lamp to guide her to the tomb, but now she needed it to guide her back to the disciples and out into the world to tell people that Jesus had risen from the dead. This was a very special moment in Mary's journey of life. Now we're going to just take a moment to think about this whole story of Mary Magdalene. We can go on two journeys with Mary Magdalene, thinking about that story. But what we're going to do is we're going to do that in our imaginations this morning. So this is a part in collective worship where I'd like you all to just think quietly to yourselves now. I want you to think about one happy moment or happy memory that you have from this year at school. It can be anything, something you learned, something you did. It could be a friendship. I want you just to hold on to that memory for a moment in your mind. Think about how it made you feel, that happy memory. And now, thinking about that memory, I want you to imagine that you're putting it into a jar. It can be any jar. And it's a jar full of happy memories, but a jar that's also full of thankfulness. And sometimes when we do things like this, it helps us to capture lots of feelings, lots of emotions, but to put them somewhere special. And if we think about Mary Magdalene's jar, it smelt beautiful. She had special smells and aloes, things that made it smell very, very nice. Now I want you to have a look at the flame in the picture. That's a flame from a candle. It was also the flame in Mary's lamp. Mary thought that the lamp would just guide her safely to the tomb, but actually it helped her find her way on journeys that she had never dreamed of. It helped to guide her to new places and to meet new people. Her lamp is a little bit like the light that God shares with all of us. Just like we look at the candle flame at the beginning of every collective worship and at the end, this light guides us. It guides us on our onward journey. And for us at the moment, we're thinking about our holidays. We're thinking about the next school year. But we're always thinking about how we guide and help you and each other. If we think about the flame in a church, and when we're at school, when we light the candle, we haven't been able to do that all together for a long time. But the flame should also remind us that God is with us always, even when we're on unknown journeys. So just like Mary Magdalene, we can travel on. We can put our memories in a special jar, and we can look at light. We can look at light in any form, a candle, we can look outside, we can look at the sun. And this light can help to guide us to new places. Now, I hope you've taken some time to really think about some of those happy memories that you might put into that jar. And it might be that some of the grown-ups in your class might ask you to do that if you have some spare time this week. What memories would you actually put into that jar from school? We're going to finish our collective worship today by just sharing a very, very simple prayer. So you can either read it quietly with me, or you can close your eyes and listen. Lord, be behind us, protecting us. Lord, be in front of us, guiding us. Lord, be beside us, helping us, today and evermore. Today and evermore. Amen. Okay. So you've had some thinking to do there this morning, children, and I really hope you try hard to think about looking forward. Think about some of the changes that are ahead of you. not to worry, but to think about how you can maybe capture some memories to help you with looking forward. Thank you for listening this morning, and I will look forward to seeing you all very soon. And I'm going to finish by saying, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for listening this morning, children, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now. Bye.